It is so amazing to be with all of you. And yes, this is the nicest way to end and start a week. Thank you so much, Felicia, for your beautiful music. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. Shabbat Tov. May it be a good week. While I'm talking, please make yourselves comfortable. I'm really just so glad to be with all of you. I'm Ariella Morkwitz, the founding director of SVIVAH. There are beautiful new faces here tonight. Thank you for coming. Please stay till the end to introduce yourself if you're up for it. I promise I won't run off. 30 seconds about SVIVAH. SVIVAH is revolutionizing the way that women come together in community, discovering and exploring the unique and beautiful Torah that comes from our lived experience, and building the kind of community that holds us and makes us stronger. We define both Jewish and women very broadly. If you want to be with us, we want you with us and welcome. Dalia Davis, our Director of Pastoral Education, for knowing how good it is for our neshamas, for our souls to come together like this for Havdalah. If you happen to have it nearby, maybe bring something that smells nice to you. It can be something from your spice rack, a flower, a perfume, fresh laundry, not dirty laundry, fresh laundry. Maybe something that brings light, a small candle, a match, or even the flashlight on your phone, and something to drink, anything that you've got. And if you have none of those things, do not stress. We have you more than covered over here. You don't need to have anything at all. Before I hand things off to Dalia, I just want to share one thing that I was actually sitting with all of Shabbat thinking about as I was thinking about tonight. And since I'm going to talk about me for a minute, I would love to know if any of this resonates with any of you. So like throw up a +1 comment in the chat or one of the Zoom reactions if any of this hits home for you too. Because I want to start off actually apologizing to Dalia because I think I made her absolutely bonkers this week as she built this beautiful gathering for us that is intended to just be filled with light and warmth and song because I was a little bit messed up in my head. Okay, you're going to bear with me for 1 minute. I'm going to take us down for 1 second, but I promise we're going to come right back up. Hang tight. On the back end of things, as we were preparing for this Havdalah, weirdly, every time that I went to save a file on my computer or create a new document or a post for tonight, my computer would automatically pull up another Havdalah Together that we did on February 21st, 2025. A year ago, that Shabbat was when the Bibases, Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir, were returned from Gaza. And it was horrible. So my computer, trying to plan tonight, became this awful reminder of where we were a year ago today. And we are not there. We are not there. But planning tonight just brought everything up for me. And I made Dalia nuts all week because I kept saying to her, how can we be joyful? How can we talk about the joy of Purim?
I'll start off also with a personal story. It was different than what Ariella was going to share, and I'll let her do that when she comes back. But I want to tell you about a wedding that I went to. And this wedding was a few years ago, and I do not remember much about the wedding, except for the fact that I had had a very difficult experience shortly before the wedding. And I was really, really, really not in the mood to go to a wedding. But it was somebody else's time of happiness. And so I put on this mask. It was like I had to force the smile and go in there and pretend that I was fully present because I wanted to be. I wanted to be happy. And I was happy for the person deep down, but in that moment, I just couldn't get there. And so I had to fake it. I don't know if anyone has had that experience in any other moment of your life where you've had to fake it. I see a lot of nodding. Yeah, right. Like we all go through those experiences where we're put into a situation where there's like a dominant emotion of what's expected from us. We're supposed to be happy. Or it could also be the opposite. In this moment, we're supposed to feel sad, but something really amazing is happening in our lives. And so we're not feeling the emotion that matches that moment in time. And so that's really what we wanted to delve into tonight because Adar is a time that is set to feel happy. The rabbis talk about this as a time for happiness. And as we gather here tonight, it could be that there's some of us who are coming who are not in that place of happiness. We're coming with feelings about what's going on in our personal life. I know a lot of people also are going through a lot of different emotions about what's happening when they look out into the world and see what's happening around them. And might be coming here with I saw some of the emotions I saw were not happiness or joy. And we in SVIVAH, we don't want to be putting on masks. I know Purim is a time of dressing up and we can do that on Purim, but we want to create a space where we can all be really authentic and say, this is how I'm actually feeling in this moment. And then we can ask the question, so how do we make that work with Adar if Adar is a time of happiness? And as I was thinking about this, preparing for tonight, I looked back at the original source where actually it has the phrase, Mishenichnas Adar marbim besimcha. When Adar comes in, we increase in happiness. And I want to show it to you. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you this text from the Talmud. Okay, one second. Here's the text, and it's from Tractate Tanit in the Talmud. And it actually, and I didn't realize this until I was looking at it more deeply, it's actually in the midst of a conversation about the month of Av, the month when we have Tisha B'Av, where we mourn over the temple and have the saddest day of the entire year. And the Talmud says the Mishnah teaches that from when the month of Av begin, one decreases acts of rejoicing. So that's a time that's set for this sadness. Rabbi Yehuda, son of Rabbi Shmuel Bar Shlitz, said in the name of Rab, just as when Av begin, one decreases in rejoicing, so too when the month of Adar begins, one increases in rejoicing. And what then happens is very interesting because there is a lot of discussion among the rabbis of what are the actions that one takes in Av in order to decrease happiness. And there's an outline that goes on throughout the rabbinic discussion of here are different things, right? Some people won't go to weddings, some people won't get a haircut. There's questions about laundry, right? There's concrete actions that are given. And they don't do that for Adar. There isn't a series of, well, on Monday, you're going to go get a massage. And on Tuesday, you're going to eat all your favorite candy and all these different things in order to increase happiness. And I wonder if what that's really about is the idea that each of us experiences joy in a very different way. And the text here actually doesn't say you need to feel joy. It says increase. So if at this moment I am doing the following actions that are making me, that are maintaining the emotion that I'm feeling right now, are there some actions that I can take that will increase joy? Not because I want to negate what I'm feeling right now, and not because what I'm feeling right now is wrong or in any way inappropriate. It's exactly what I'm feeling, and that's perfect, and that's authentic, and that's exactly right. But as this month comes in, do we have an opportunity to ask ourselves the question, are there actions that I can take that will increase the level of joy in my life? And because the rabbis realized this is not something that we can dictate because everyone feels joyous for different things. I know there are some people who like tell me about how when they're stressed, they just want to stress bake or de-stress bake, whichever one it is. And that baking relieves their stress and it brings them joy. For me, that's something that increases my stress and my joy. So it's really an individual process. And I love that it's not so specific here. So we can really take this time to think about what actions can each of us take to increase this joy in our life. And as I was looking into this further, I also found this beautiful idea that the month of Adar, the definition in Kabbalah, in the mystical teachings, is not joy. That's not the name of what the month means. It's not the meaning of the word Adar. It actually means strength. And the reason why this month might be called strength is because in times that are difficult, whether personal or global, when we're going through a difficult time, saying, I'm going to still seek out joy is actually an act of strength. It's an act of saying, I'm going to continue to live. I'm going to find ways to put one foot in front of the other, even though it's hard to see the pathway forward. It's hard to know where to go next, and it's hard to see how things are going to be okay. But I'm going to keep going and I'm going to try to find elements of joy in my life and increase those elements to the best of my ability. And that's an act of strength. And I can, when I think back to different periods of Jewish history, I can imagine like what was it like for the Jews during this really hard time and that really hard time. We have unfortunately quite a long list of hard times that our people have gone through. And perhaps during those months of Adar and all of those various different years, they asked themselves, what can we do to increase our joy? And that is our act of strength. That's how we will carry ourselves through. And I want to share one other piece about joy that I think also relates to this, which is that I'm specifically using the word joy and not happiness, because simcha actually is joy. And scientists have been doing studies about what is joy and what brings joy into people's lives. And actually, they said a lot of studies show that joy is about having connections with other people. And so I want to show you this beautiful text that I found from Rabbi Laura Jonathan Sachs about joy. And this is just like a snippet, but in the follow-up email, if you'd like, I can send out the full text. So he writes, joy does not involve, as does happiness, a judgment about life as a whole. Joy lives in the moment. It asks no questions about tomorrow. It celebrates the power of now. Joy blesses God day by day. It celebrates the mere fact of being here, now, existing when we might not have existed. Joy embraces the contingency of life. It knows that yesterday has gone and tomorrow is unknown. It does not ask what was or will be. It makes no calculations. It is a state of radical thankfulness for the gift of being. Even in any age too fraught for happiness, there can still be joy. Happiness is something I can feel on my own, but joy in the Torah is essentially shared. Unlike happiness, simcha, which is joy, only exists in virtue of being shared. It is a form of social emotion. Unlike happiness, joy is not conditional on things going well. Like music, it gives expression to the inexpressible. It says, yes, life is sometimes unfair and the world unjust, but the very brevity of life makes each moment precious. Joy bathes life with light. So there's so much in this text. And if there's anything that when you heard it or when you saw it on the screen really resonated and you want to just pop it in the chat to amplify it for us, feel free to do that. So I'm going to stop the share. Oh no, I'm going to keep it up for one more minute so you can do that. So put things in the chat if there's something that really spoke to you. And I want to also help us transition into Havdalah, which is what we're really here to do together with this idea of joy. And the idea that really jumped out at me is this idea that joy in the Torah is something that we do together. It's something that we share. And when I think of the most beautiful Havdalah experiences that I've had, and thank God I've had a lot of them, they're always the experiences when I'm surrounded by other people. I think back to beautiful SVIVAH Havdalah that we've done before, even the ones that Ariella was referencing, where it was a very, very hard time, and we had a lot of heartbreak during those Havdalahs. It was still so meaningful to be together. And I also think about Havdalahs that I've experienced in summer camp. So I'm going to show you a picture. I'm not in this picture. I don't know these people, but it's another summer camp. It's like Camp Ramah. And if anyone has had any of these types of Havdalah, whether in camp or in another communal setting where you're with other people, there's something very joyous. There's a beautiful, joyous connection in this shared experience. And that's what we're going to have here tonight. Even though we're on Zoom, we can still feel, I can feel all of your presence. And I know that Felicia is going to use her music to connect us even deeper so that we can feel the joy. So if this is possibly our first action or for increasing joy in Adar, then it's so special that we're doing it here together. And thank you for being here to do this with us. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Felicia. Because I'm sharing my screen, I can't see her whole bio in front of me. So it'll be in the chat. But Felicia has been with us before. She is an incredible musician. She is a trained cantor. She is an incredible Jewish musical educator. And she is a creative presence, which you'll get to see more of tonight. And we're so, so lucky to have her here. So Felicia, thank you so much.
I'm so happy to be here. One of the things that really hit me in what we just read is like music, joy gives expression to the inexpressible. I thought that was beautiful. Can you hear me? Yes? Somebody will interrupt me if I can't hear me. בין ישראל לעמים, בין יום השביעי וששת ימי המעשה. ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לחול. שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב.
Amen. Thank you, Felicia. So now we're going to sing together Misha Nichnas Adar. We welcome in Adar, Marbim V'Simcha. We try to find ways to increase our joy. So while Felicia's singing, I invite everyone, if you'd like, to just kind of think about what are things that you do in your life that can increase that joy. And if you're comfortable sharing them in the chat, that'd be beautiful. If you want to just instead picture it in your mind and have it as like a kavanah, an intention to hold with you as you sing and listen, that would be beautiful. So thank you. Thank you, Felicia. Felicia, would you like to now share a piece of your joy with us?
Is it time?
I think it's time.
It's time?
We're ready.
I would love to share a piece of my joy. So this is something I'm going to share with you tonight. I feel very honored. I haven't done this particular piece in over 10 years, I think. I wrote it a long time ago, but it still feels very salient today. And yes, this is my joy. I love sharing music. I love entertaining my people, and I love rewriting stories in a way that's meaningful to me. So this is my Queen Esther rap. And the reason I want to see everybody is I really, 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 really want you to engage with me during this perform. It is a performance and it's a few minutes long. So if if it's too long for you and you can't stay, I understand, but it's not like that long. But I want to invite you to respond as if you're hearing this story for the first time. So if you hear the name of the person who's like who we don't like in this story, we're going to see some booing. Maybe you have something to shake. Maybe you have a grogger or something nearby, or some, I don't know, Tic Tacs or something that you can shake. We want to see reactions. If you hear something that makes you happy, I want to see it. Okay? So that's your job. I'll do my job and you do your job, and then we'll all have a little bit more increased joy, I think. All right. First, I need a... Can you hear it? You hear that groove? And you can also dance. You could do some shimmies. You can do some snake arms. Vivas tú y viva yo. Vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Long live you and long live me. Long live the Jewish nation. Long live our Queen Esther and our Purim celebration. You can hear me? Good. Our story begins in the land of Shushan, situated in Persia, which is now called Iran. My name was Hadassah, but I changed it to Esther, meaning secret, concealed, hidden, sequestered. I took on this name because I had to hide my Jewish identity for a long time. But alas, I digress. My story, I was Russian. I should start off by telling you about Queen Vashti. She was married to Ahasuerus, the man, the king, head honcho, the guy in command. One night, the king commanded Vashti to dance in front of all his friends. Vashti said, "No chance to exploit my beauty in a blatant way. Ahasuerus, that's an order I will not obey." King Ahasuerus, he flew into a rage. Vashti flew from the kingdom like a bird from a cage. She was never to be seen or heard from again. And this is where my story begins. Well, the king was sorry. He learned a big lesson that a woman is an equal, she is not a possession. And in due time, he became sort of lonely. He wanted to find another queen, his one and only. Now, at that time, there was no computer dating, no personal ads for romance or mating. The king decided to hold a beauty pageant to find a woman who could share his love and passion. And passion. Well, the person who told me of the pageant was a guy, my very favorite uncle, and his name was Mordecai. Mordecai the Jew, righteous and strong. He protected the king from those who tried to do him wrong. Mordecai had a vision that I'd be the new queen. He said I'd be the greatest queen that Persia had ever seen. But in order to do this, I had to pretend that I was not Jewish. It was too much of a threat. I listened to my uncle because I loved him so. He told me that it was my duty to go. So I went to the palace. I left my home. And sure enough, the king selected me for the throne. For the throne. Well, for a while, things were great. I enjoyed my new life. The king respected me. I was a good wife. But Mordecai told me of a new prime minister named Haman. Yes, Haman. I should see a lot of reaction. Yeah, here we go. This dude was sinister. The guy never smiled. He always wore a scowl. He never spoke except to tell his subjects to bow down to him, to get on their knees. Haman. Yes, Haman was a supersized creep. Yeah, I agree. Boo. One day, Mordecai met Haman at the palace. He was menacing and filled with spite and malice. When H said to M, "Bow down to me," Mordecai said to H, "Man, in your dreams." Well, Haman was furious. He blew a fuse. He said, "I hate those stubborn Jews. They have one God. They have their own language. Wherever they go, I wish them heartache and anguish." And because he was in power, he was able to create a law to kill all Jews throughout the Persian states. Remind you of anything? Yeah, I should see a lot of this. When Mordecai told me of the Jews, I wept. For 3 days I fasted and barely slept. Afraid, alone, feeling weak and feeble. people. I knew I was the only hope to save the Jewish people, though I was frightened and I was small. I prayed for the courage to stand proud and tall, and that I did. I approached the king. I asked him to attend a banquet and to bring Haman. Yes, Haman, to bring him to the feast. That was where I would expose that vicious beast. Dance break. Deck the halls for my big party, fa la 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 bim bim bum. Something elegant and arty, fa la 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 bim bim bum. Don me now my best apparel, fa la 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 bim bim bum. I need all the tools at my disposal, fa la 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 bim bim bum. Well, the very next night at the party I just mentioned, I asked the king and guests if I could have their attention. The king said, "Now, Esther, tell me what's on your mind." I said, "My dear husband, I'm begging for my life. I'm telling you now something that I have hidden from you for a while, and I hope I'll be forgiven, because the truth must be told no matter what you do. I'm telling you tonight that I am a vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian. This is so scary. This is terrifying. I could be killed for this. So I need to see some support. I need to see some love for Queen Esther right now. I need to see some love. Oy vey, I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew. The truth poured out. I couldn't stop it, like a dog with a bone. I couldn't drop it. In the month of Adar, on the 13th day, this man wants all the Jews to go away. He has made a new law so grave and garish that will cause all the Jews in the land to perish. And if they do, then I will too. Yes, if they do, then I will too. Yes, if they do, then I will too. 'Cause although I am a Persian, I am also a Jew. Although I am a Persian, I am also a Jew. Although I am a Persian, I am proud to be a Jew. Are you proud to be a Jew? Well, the king took a moment to consider what I said. I half expected him to say, "Off with Esther's head," but that's not what happened. No, not at all. He was mad at the prime minister's nerve and gall, enraged by the man who was so blatant in his lust for power. And that man was, "Hey man, what's the matter when the Jews just want to be free?" Well, the rest of the story you probably know. It was Haman, not the Jews, who died at the gallows. Not only did I save my people from doom, but I gained strength from God when I prayed in my room. So on Purim, when you honor the victory of the Jews, don't forget to honor Esther, who dared to tell the truth. Vivas tú y viva yo, vivan todos los judíos, viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Long live you and long live me, long live the Jewish nation, long live our Queen Esther and our Purim celebration. Thank you so much, everybody.
Wow, Felicia, that was incredible. We're all giving you a round of applause.
Thank you for letting me do it. Thank you.
I, as an audience member, completely love that. I totally love seeing everyone dancing and the crazy emojis going on. That was amazing. And I have to say that increased my joy. Absolutely.
Me too.
And I see a lot of heads nodding. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, you can totally tell Felicia that in the chat also. Yeah, wow, what a gift. Thank you. So before we close out the evening, I want to let you know that there is more ways to increase your joy and stay connected to SVIVAH that are coming up. This is not the end, this is just the beginning. Okay, so we are going to be having two more events this week, right? Havdalah came, we have now started our new week. So on Monday, you can join us for Ogun, Cultivating Resilience on Monday morning. And then on Thursday night, we're going to be having a really special program, Living in an Upside Down World, Lessons from the Purim Story. It's a Her Torah program. There's going to be an amazing focus on Musar teachings, and it's going to be really brilliant. So please, please come and save those two things on your calendar. And Felicia, thank you so, so much. This has been so amazing to have you. So we're going to let you sing us out, and we're going to have Felicia sing Vaychudim Hai Ta'orah, which I'll share the words with you in a second.
So it's the same melody that we came in with, and I hope you'll sing along even if we're not in the same space. It's still good to sing together.
Thank you, Felicia. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here and helping us start our weeks together to start our month of Adar, a month of strength, and a month in which we're going to all see how we can bring more joy into our life. So I want to wish everybody a Shavua Tov, a week full of light, a week full of joy, and a week full of feeling connected to one another.